You're listening to a Mash Those Buttons podcast. Visit mashthosebuttons.com for a full podcast schedule.
Cargo secured. Extraction complete. Intelligence system analytic computer is activated. All ISAC systems are confirmed online. Data scanned. Downloading files.
What's up, guys? You're listening to episode 66 of SITREP Radio, giving you the news and other happenings in the world of The Division. PTS 3 is in full swing this week, and we have news on what the hell is happening with encrypted caches. But first, my name is Mike, and joining me, as always, are my co-hosts, Robert.
Hello.
And Luke.
Hello.
How have we been, guys? Are you good? Are you well?
Yes. Very good, thank you. Yeah.
I feel like that was really polite for an opening to the episode.
It's quite a British opening, isn't it?
It is. Welcome to the show. Robert, how has your week been?
It's been fine, thank you. Although I haven't played much Division this week. I feel a bit bad.
When you say much Division?
Any.
Ditto.
Okay, I just want to ask, have you even turned on your PlayStation this week?
No. Maybe.
Luke.
Possibly. No, I didn't.
Yes, I have. I told a lie. I turned it on to charge my headset, and the PTS updated itself.
Ooh. So, Luke, you haven't turned on your PS4 this week. I almost said PS3. Really, because you've been busy playing something else, haven't you? I know this is a Division podcast, and we will get to stuff that's been happening in the Division this week. But for anyone that is joining us for the first time, we normally just have like a quick couple of minute chat on what we've been up to this week.
PUBG.
Go.
Oh, you're waiting for us?
Yeah.
Yeah, PUBG. I joined the PC Master Race at the weekend. So it's been PUBG, some PUBG, and then I finished it off with some more PUBG.
I heard you also finished it off with chicken dinner, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, late night chicken dinner supper last night.
Congrats.
First one.
Well done, dude.
Thank you.
Rob's envious over there.
I've got to the top 3. That's the best I've done.
Congratulations.
So far.
He's also second in the running for most people he's run over this week as well.
Yeah, I ran over my friend Brad. Although, Mike, you ran me and Luke over earlier in the week as well, so shush.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said second. I'm winning.
Oh, yeah, good point.
I'm winning, motherfucker.
I think technically I'm winning that one if I've not run anybody over.
No, I'm going to go with most kills. I mean, mine was more skillful. It was reverse. I didn't even see you guys, so...
Don't think your own teammates should count on that list, dude. I'm just saying.
You've killed me more than twice this week, I think.
Possibly. To be fair, Luke did message me going, "Whoops, I killed Rob."
Yeah.
I drove off a cliff as well with Luke in the car. That was quite embarrassing.
Is that 2 kills with the car?
Our listeners will be surprised to learn that my chicken dinner was solo, because these two fucking idiots just kill each other.
To be fair, last night's run of Battlegrounds was freaking awesome, and we did have a couple of quick matches with Deep Fried Dave and Weezer, so shout out to the...
I was going to say, I did a blistering game with Weezer and Idle and Fox and Luke, where I got like 6 or 7 kills while they were all dead.
Yeah, you were solo for most of it though, weren't you?
Yeah. That was a hell of a game though.
Yeah.
And I had some extraordinary moments this week where I tried to lie down whilst I was getting shot at and put all my guns away and tried firing and then ended up dead. Obviously, run you guys over.
Yeah, key binding is important.
Yes. I've moved the put your away weapons button to L, which is like the furthest away as possible. I still need to move the map button because I think it's too close. I think it needs to be right on the other side of the keyboard, but there we go. Trying to think of standout moments for that this week, apart from accidentally jumping out of the plane. To hear Rob go, "Fuck it, leave him." You can get a car.
Hey, that wasn't me. That was Brad that said that.
No, get fucked. That was you.
I was like, "Fuck it, let's join him." I didn't say leave him.
But yeah, we haven't had much chance to play Division this week. We have been keeping up to date with some of the news that's been going on, and obviously we check over Reddit and things like that, and we're on socials. But yeah, we've been pretty busy. Luke, you've got a new laptop, obviously, and I think we're really just on a bit of a break, waiting for 1.7 to drop now, aren't we? I don't think we're going to be too far away. Yeah. So let's get down to some news.
State of the game.
So, this week's State of the Game, for those that are currently active on the PTS or waiting for update 1.7, PTS 3 is now active on all platforms, which is Xbox, PS4, and PC. Apparently it's going to be the last version, and yeah, you will not get the final version, as it will be the final build that will be released, and they'll just basically keep cycling through if they keep doing that. So we will never get the final version until it's deployed. So I'm just going to say now, there is still a chance we might get a PTS 4, I think they said on stream this week.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just going to be a case of, if you think something is absolutely broke or needs fixing really bad, please be vocal about it, because our community is vocal quite a lot of the time. So if you think it is a main concern, please use the remaining time to make the patch the best it can be. I don't want to see a 1.6 error when this drops. I really don't, with everybody complaining, things like that. And make sure you head over to Ubisoft forums and report any bugs and glitches that you have over there. It's not good just complaining on YouTube videos and on Reddit. If you see something, please report it, because they can try and get this fixed before release, hopefully. That being the case, I did check out a couple of things over on Reddit this week with regards to PTS 3. It's been out a couple of days now, I think. When was it released? Tuesday?
For console it was, yeah. Tuesday.
Yeah. I know it's been out, was it a week on PC now? It got released last Friday, is that right?
Yeah.
But I think console players have been more worried, because obviously there's been changes with shotguns and things like that. But a few issues that have been cropping up on Reddit this week. So apparently recovery link has been delayed after popping it, which is probably going to be down to delag
Latency.
Dead agents still stood standing after they've been shot, which is great. Recalibration of classified gear sets don't always show as classified. Missions can occasionally reset themselves for no reason, that sounds absolutely painful if you're doing a legendary. And defib is still not working 100% of the time when support station is down. And striker marks are still not consistently registering. So all good. But to be honest, that's like not a huge list as I thought we would have seen. So hopefully the majority of things have been fixed or reported over on the forums. Any thoughts this week on PTS 3, guys?
I jumped in and played the new Outbreak thing. You have to be like close to the enemies. It's really hard. Compared to the one before, it's difficult. Other than that, I don't really have any thoughts.
Is it fun at least, though, Rob?
Yeah, definitely. But like, you have to play completely. You have to like switch your weapons and play completely different. Because I'm used to like sitting back and sniping, doing like through difficult content, and staying in cover and stuff. You have to like literally run at guys, and it's pretty difficult.
Hold on, did you say you like staying back behind cover? That doesn't sound like you at all. I just want to say that now. They call you the Leroy Jenkins of Division.
Leroy!
But yeah, it's hopefully getting to a point where it's almost complete. I mean, I know shotguns are still a problem, and they have mentioned that this week. What worries me is that they are still just depends if they're just looking into it for a future patch or whether it's actually going to be sorted on release. So if you are worried about it, please be vocal, because that and the Cronus Max issue.
If you have a Cronus Max, please throw it in the bin or send it back to your retailer.
And stop cheating.
Stop being... I can't say that, I'm not allowed. Begins with C.
I'm intrigued now.
And ends in T. And has un in the middle.
Mike, stop trying to think of a word that's not the word you know it is.
What to fill it in? A chunt?
Smooth, dude. Smooth.
Oh dear. Epic.
I feel like this is going to be a little bit more casual. Yeah. Lag. How do we feel about lag, boys?
Love it.
I love lag. Lag's the best.
No, I said lag, not swag.
It's
yeah.
They can't.
This.
Yeah, I saw the part of the state of the game where they talked about this. They basically said, it's an issue. We're going to attempt to fix it, but there's not much we can do about it because they can't. It's player-based. It's a player-based issue. If you have no people to play with, you have to congregate. I don't know what the word is, but smush the servers together so you have enough people playing on certain servers, which means your ping is going to be huge. Depending on
what's going to be huge?
Your ping.
All right.
So it's like when we play Battlegrounds on Asian servers, and you've got like a ping of
with
like
Brad.
over 100 because the server's miles away. That's what happens in Division, but they do it all in the background because they try and group you up with people that are actually playing the game because there ain't that many people left. Sadly.
Yeah. And sadly, that seems to be the case, or one of the problems. I think the other thing that they said was due to server load as well. Apparently, like AI that they've introduced over the last few months, it's all additional load on the servers, and it could potentially be causing lag. It's got more to load.
Sorry.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Because it makes sense to me, dude.
No. It's... all right.
Somebody did shout out in chat basically saying, "Oh, just get new servers," and I don't think it's as simple as that, and I don't think it'd fix the problem. It's more a problem with the build overall, like how it actually runs and things like that, or maybe how it's actually like loaded onto the servers and it's
the netcode, I think it's called.
Yeah, the netcode
business.
Yes, that's the one. Which I'm pretty sure like a lot of people shouted about when this game first got released, being an issue. And that lag was an issue back then, a year ago. So I think is it worse or less now? I mean, everyone complains about lag, but how often do we see it? And we're like in 3 different locations.
Yeah, but Britain's relatively small compared to other countries.
We have fairly good internet in this country as well, which helps. I mean, we're all on fiber connections, so
I think the only time I ever see lag is pop in Survivor Link, and we've already talked about Survivor Link potentially being delayed anyway. That's not necessarily always down to lag. So it's not very often I sit in the DZ moaning that I've been shot around a corner because of lag. I know it happens to other people, but not to me very often. So.
Yeah, well, I hope they can help sort it out for like the people that do want it, where it actually affects. Because if it doesn't affect us, there's no point in us just going, well, it's not a huge problem. They don't need to worry about it.
No, I agree. It would be fucking annoying for the people that it happens to on the regular. But same as Rob said a little bit earlier, it's not entirely their fault, because if the player base has dwindled that much that it's putting Asians and Americans and Europeans all in the same servers, you're going to get a problem, aren't you, regardless of what they do.
I mean, they also said like security checks as well that the game actually performs. That is going to put, that it has to run security checks before we actually do stuff. Also, the fact that, some of your skills and weapon information is kept server side because people tried to cheat the hell out of the game. They were just going into the client settings on PC. Now, I know PC is completely different to console, but they want it all either client side or server side. They don't want it one for PC and one for consoles. So, they've put those things client side, server side, and that's causing delay as well.
So it's those bloody chunts again, isn't it?
Yes, Rob. But if you've got that and then the distance
#chunts
as well, for fuck's sake, you are going to get lag, unfortunately. I don't think there's much you can do about it. Plus, people are doing weird shit with their routers as well. Like, I've seen
Lag
cases
switching.
where like switching. I can't remember what the hell the term was. But, we've seen that in the dark zone. Why the hell would you play a game like that and lag switch? It's not showing any skill at all. I don't understand that. Same thing with Cronus Max, like we said earlier. Bin it. Get rid of it. It's down to first party Sony and Microsoft to sort those things out. But the thing is, those things were introduced to help the players to switch between the two. And it's a shame that they're being used for what they're actually being used for. And I kind of like certain things to be locked off, like mouse and keyboard for consoles. But the other side is, like, we have friends who are disabled, and the only way those guys can actually play is through mouse and keyboard and Cronus Max and things like that. And I was just gonna say, it's unfair on those guys because that's the people it's there for, isn't it? At the end of the day, so you can use. It's not to cheat the game.
I watched an interesting video on YouTube of someone. The little AIDS movement that people do where they go left and right to not get shot, basically. I can't remember what you call it.
Yeah.
There was someone comparing the two on using a mouse and keyboard on a console and comparing it with a controller.
PC? Alright, okay.
And it's so much more easier to do using a mouse and keyboard on a console. Like, it's just insane. And the weird thing
for
is,
example, I was going to say, for example,
Sony endorse on their website, those little keypad things that literally has like a little section of the keypad that has like the WASD and like a joystick
gaming keypad.
Yeah, but they there is an official PlayStation 4 that comes with a mouse that it actually works on PS4. You can actually buy it through the website.
But the thing is, those things are used on other games. Like, people use those on Diablo, other MMOs, where it's easier to use keyboard and mouse. I'm trying to think, what is it? Final Fantasy might use that. Final Fantasy Online might use it. And that's what they're meant for, more than anything, I would have said. I could be completely wrong on that. And, they're obviously available to use on most games, but at the end of the day, the fact that it's available and that people are breaking the game by using these additional tools is still wrong. I don't know. There's not much you can say about it, but it's down to Sony and Microsoft to sort out, especially the Cronus Max issue. So if you do have complaints, send them to Sony or Microsoft, I guess.
I think the Cronus Max certainly seems a bit more widespread than the mouse and keyboard, doesn't it?
Obviously, the main issue was the RPM of the weapons, which, by the sounds of it, Massive have done their best to try and stop. So that's been hard capped, but I have heard a couple of glitches with it where they haven't been able to fire, or they've had double shots because of it happening, because it is restricted now. So I don't know if those people using Cronus Max isn't just trying to be like, oh, it's not working now. And it's like, whoa, no shit. It's not meant to. But I guess we'll find out. Never gonna live that down now, am I?
It's going to be a tag of the episode, by the way. Going to make it happen.
What? That's this week's title. Chance.
Yeah.
Okay, so hot topic in the community this week. I don't want to go into as much detail as they did on the State of the Game with it, because to be honest, the State of the Game this week was freaking damn awesome, and I think it's worth watching for. It's kind of like behind the scenes of what's actually happening at massive, and how things kind of entail together, and how they get all these encrypted caches working in the chance systems and things like that, which I think is pretty cool. But basically, earlier this week, Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear put out a video that caused controversy in the Division community, which was basically about people gambling through RNG on encrypted caches, and how the Division is potentially doing the same thing. I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance to watch the video. I don't know if you guys have.
No. Definitely not.
But it has been a huge topic this week. So much so that Massive felt the need to address it, which I just want to say, huge props for Massive for getting on the ball and addressing this pretty damn quick, because it normally takes a little while for them to actually pick up on it. But it's not only that, it also was discussed by Marco Style and Skill Up, and they were like, oh yeah, we're on Massive's payroll, that's why we're totally defending this. I'm joking.
Chance.
Okay, so for those that didn't watch the stream this week, I just go ignore Rob now. Yannick and Hamish were there. Petter's away on a nice holiday, I hope. And Yannick was covering Petter's duties. So they actually had a guest on. They had Matthew Higby, who is the game designer for the live team. He's basically tasked with working with all the other studios in the Ubisoft family that work on the Division, especially 1.7, and by the sounds of it, heading towards 1.8 to make sure that we get the best patch that we can on release. And sounds like he does a lot of the delegating and communicating.
He was very informative, wasn't he?
I think this is one of the best guests they've had especially in a long time. Obviously, the other people they've had on there are really awesome, but he was very kind of, and I would say really enthusiastic on the stream. I don't know if you felt that, Rob.
Yeah.
I know you're really enthusiastic in real life, so
I haven't got an enthusiastic bone in my body. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, this being said, at the end of the day, encrypted caches, pay money for the chance at one of, what did they say on stream? It's 22 items are going to be added to the stream. The loot pool. And basically, people were worried that you're going to be shelling out shitloads of money to obtain 22 items, because it's basically down to RNG. So you could get one, and then you could get the same one again because there's no factors, and that's how people feel about it. It turns out there are factors that do play into it. But before we go any further, I just want to ask your thoughts. Microtransactions, guys, I know we've covered it before very briefly. Your thoughts, Luke?
I'm absolutely fine with microtransactions as long as it's not directly pay to win.
Agreed. Rob?
This seems like they're just trying to, not trying to cover their asses, but when Destiny did a similar thing, they got quite a lot of backlash because you had to spend, if you spent £50, you could get all this stuff on the Destiny, and you could grind it out. It would take months. I mean, you could still get it, but if you spent £50, you could get it straight away. And there was quite a lot of backlash on the fact that you had to spend so much money to get it. I think they're just trying to cover their asses on that a little bit, maybe. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's kind of lifting the curtains on what is actually going when you buy the encrypted caches, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't want people moaning. Basically, they don't want people moaning about it, how unfair it is, I guess. I don't know. They're just being as clear as possible.
Yeah, well, I also saw the people saying in an argument that, people put in this kind of RNG that you have to pay for and then not necessarily getting what you want out of it is adhering to gambling, people that have a gambling addiction and children and people that are completionists and things like that.
Oh
And I was
my
just like,
God.
it felt like it was kind of blown out of proportion. I mean, how many games have we played that have this kind of loot-based RNG that you can pay for, but you can also get them in game? Overwatch does this every, 6 weeks or month. They have an event that goes live. There's new skins that go out. You can either earn them in the game, play the hell out of the game and get a shitload of skins or whatever. I think you're even guaranteed like a loot box every day or something like that in Overwatch. And you can get the same items potentially that you would buy. I mean, Rob, you bought some Overwatch loot boxes recently. Did you get all the same or did you never open them?
What? I didn't buy any.
It was a joke.
Oh, I know what you're. They never all got opened, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, you got refunded, didn't you?
Yes.
You accidentally bought some.
I didn't.
A lot of them.
I didn't.
No.
It was a misunderstanding.
Okay. It's not the loot boxes I was meant to buy. It was meant to be on the Division. But like we've all played games that have loot boxes that you have to pay for. Like I just said, Destiny. Rob, how many Destiny loot boxes have you bought?
None.
Never?
I
You never bought anything for an
emotes. I
emote?
didn't buy any of the boxes.
Really?
No.
Oh, you did?
No.
But that's kind of the point, though, isn't it? You don't have to buy them.
Yeah.
So if people are choosing to spend their money, I'm not entirely sure.
I just
What the
hope
argument is.
the Division, because their emotes are quite expensive, I hope they don't go like stupidly expensive with it, because compared to something like Destiny, yeah, they're a little bit ridiculously priced. Same as the weapon skins, I guess.
Yeah. I think they did actually say on stream, obviously, that things are still in flux with regards to prices and things like that. But I think they're going to actually be a little bit lower than the amounts or what you can actually buy at the premium vendor, because I think they're trying to make them a bit more available. However, the idea is you can be able to farm key fragments in the game to unlock the encrypted caches for free. But I think what people are worried about is like just wasting money, I guess, on stuff you don't need. I think they said, what was it, Rob? What factors took place? Did you actually watch this bit?
No. What do you mean, factors?
Factors that actually relay into when you actually buy one of these encrypted or pick up one of these encrypted
they were on
caches.
about like duplications and stuff. I remember seeing that bit and how the fact that they can't take duplications out of it. Like, say you bought something and there is a good chance that if you bought 2 packages at the same time, that you'd get 2 of the same thing.
Yeah.
And they can't take the duplicates out of it. They explained why, but it's just, I didn't really understand.
I think it's basically like they look at certain things that you've got and they can work out from that what you're the closest to completing, like set-wise in the game, and it will try and give you that. But if you're buying 2 at once, you basically get 2 boxes, which I guess when you pick them up, that's when the RNG is determined.
Yeah.
So if you're buying 2 at once, that is the issue, isn't it? So you need, whatever you need to do, whether you're buying them or actually collecting them, buy one, open them, and then like get another one and do so forth. Otherwise, it's kind of like when if you play Destiny and you're trying to unlock an engram, isn't it?
Yeah.
You always do one at a time, and because of the light factor that plays into it, you want something higher than what you've already got. So I'm guessing it's a similar situation with this. It's already looking what you've got, and if you have that item that's going to be open in one of these boxes, it's then kind of, if you've got 2 of them, there's a good chance you can get a duplicate at that point, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, 22 items sounds pretty cool. They don't want trading to be a thing because it could be a case where you can basically hoard items and sell them to other players, which is kind of weird. Though we have seen it in other games like Destiny and other MMOs, this being the case with. So I can kind of understand that. I mean, it'd be really helpful between friends It's like if you've got something that I want and vice versa, it'd be nice to be able to hand it out. But
did they allude to what's going to be within these 22 items?
I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Because these encrypted caches are the ones with the really cool cutscene when you open them, aren't they?
Yeah. I know there's. I think the astronaut set was definitely mentioned. I'm guessing there's a good chance to be like masks in there. There are about weapon skins and some new maybe vanity clothing sets coming as well. I think is it the stuff from the premium vendor is also in that loot pool as well. So there's quite a bit in the actual loot pool itself, not just the 22 like items that they announced. I guess we just have to wait and see. But I think one thing that kind of really like set out for me for like behind the scenes reveal was the fact that, you know, they're introducing like the premium vendor and other microtransaction things. Is literally what we said a couple of months ago. It shows if you're actually buying these that there's an audience for the game. I don't know if you were about when they actually said this, Rob.
No, I don't. I think I saw that bit.
It might have been a bit earlier in the game, and it wasn't really touched on for like a long time. But it's literally like if they're seeing money come in through transactions, it's going to basically show, all right, we need to put out more content, help push the game forward. Where are we going to go? I think they also said something like we have a good, I can't remember what they said word for word, but it was something like we have a good base for the game for what's coming, like not literally next, but it was something along those lines. I can't remember what it was. I should have wrote it down. I was like, you know, that's really interesting because it kind of shows that there is, you know, if they're adding even more microtransactions at this point, what, almost a year and a half since the game was released, they must be gaining something from the microtransactions, and it's shown that the game is still like, you know, they want to support it for the future. Otherwise, it's kind of pointless. I mean, look at, for anybody that, you know, keeps an eye on like Steam sales and things like that, Doom's just gone free. If you know, buy the main game, it's £10 for everything, all the DLC, all the maps, everything unlocked for you.
Didn't you put a tweet out?
Yeah,
this week.
That should have been this week's IFM.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up. You can use it. It's fine.
It'll be a very short IFM.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, we can have. Yeah. Actually, that'll be on. But anything else? I mean, I don't really want to go into much more detail than that. You can farm keys to buy the encrypted caches.
They said around like 4 or 5 hours to get an encrypted cache when you're farming.
But they said it's different between everyone. Like you could get, I think they mentioned it was like one person could get 5 in an hour, another person could get 1. But overall, if you play like the same amount of time, you should get the same. So if you both play for 4 hours, you would get 10 overall or something like that. Yeah, I think it's blown out of proportion. I can understand why they have actually addressed it, but at the end of the day, it's not just this game that does it. And the fact that they came out and explained like literally like all the percentages from like high-end vanity items and each category system and all the freaking drop chance rates and things like that, and went into high detail. And I'm sure somebody will break it down and be like, oh, this is flawed. But at the end of the day, the fact they came out and actually said this is really cool. Keep doing this, Massive, because I'd like to see more of this, like lifting the veil on mechanics that are in the game. I don't know about you guys. That's it for me on that this week.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think it's just to help with the backlash, because the community in the division, if shit goes down that they don't like, they tend to be quite verbal about it.
Yeah.
And so
which is fair enough. Yeah.
So this is what's happening. Deal with it.
I was going to say, saying about the community being verbal, I think one thing that they, Matt Higby did actually say is like, going back to lag, yeah, lag is a problem. We know. And, you saying earlier about, oh, yeah, we'll just fix it. I don't know if you missed this bit or not, but they were basically saying that, yeah, the game should be working and we apologize and we're going to do the best we can to fix it. But, as you said earlier, you can't fix a player base without new content. I think that's what a lot of people are waiting for. So I'm hoping people come out with 1.7. 1.8 was mentioned very briefly and they were like, 1.8's coming. And,
wink, wink.
Yeah, but it was also kind of like, yeah, it's going to be awesome. But they did, I can't remember what they said word for word, but it's going to be Survival Battlegrounds. I mean,
it's not happening.
I fucking hope so. You say that. There's an article in Ubisoft. I can't remember. Who's the head of Ubisoft? I know this as well. I can't remember, but
Soft.
No, definitely not. I can't remember the guy's name, but basically they were saying
Jeff Soft.
Battlegrounds has sold 10 million copies. We're going on about Battlegrounds this episode. Apologies. Are Ubisoft worried, and how are they going to do it? And they were like, we are going to try and introduce potentially in the future something into our games that are already out there.
Just imagine.
I don't know if it was exactly that quote.
Guys, people that have played Battlegrounds, just imagine that game on Snowdrop Engine. Just picture that in your minds. Picture that in your minds and just enjoy it. Because that's what's going to happen at some point.
Are you saying that I will actually be able to see people in the distance and where I'm getting shot from? Is that what you're saying? Because going from Battlegrounds to fucking Division is like CRT to HD. It's mental. In terms of graphics. Not that it's all about graphics.
Yeah, the graphic settings on Battlegrounds they're not great, are they? But they're, yeah.
It certainly adds to the challenge, though, doesn't it?
Yes. Okay, so we're going to move off that and pretty much start heading off. Luke, you've been a bit quiet this episode, so I'm going to leave this one down to you. We had some sad news this week, didn't we, dude?
Yeah, we did. This guy's took a lot of shit over the year and a bit that he's been involved with the Division, hasn't he? And he doesn't deserve anywhere near the level of shit he's got. He's not a developer, so people asking him to fix stuff needed to get a grip from the get-go. Every time I've interacted with him, and I know you two have done the same, he's always gone out of his way to find an answer or say that it's being looked into or whatever. So it is sad that Matt Schotcher is leaving the Division, or has left the Division to go and be the community manager for Rainbow Six Siege. We, as a group, wish him all the best over there. I did send him a bit of love on Twitter, and he said he'll still be around, so hopefully we'll still get to interact with him from time to time. Obviously, he's going to be focusing on a different game. But
does this mean no more DZ Fridays?
Well, somebody stepped up to try and fill his shoes. Right. So Anthony, or at Amper Camper, as people might know him, UB Amper also on Reddit, I guess he's going to take over the DZ streams and the Division streams and whatever. I mean, maybe he'll put his own spin on things, but
cool. All right.
Yeah, he's going to step up. So welcome to the family, dude.
Yeah, welcome, man. I just want to say, for those of you who don't know, I think this is Anthony's first community manager role. He has been playing like Ubisoft games for a long time, by the looks of it, and he produced YouTube videos. I think most of them were, funny enough, for Rainbow Six Siege.
Got a lot on his channel for Wildlands.
And Wildlands. He covered Wildlands a lot before that released and during the release of it. And he's probably played the crap out of the Division as well. And people were putting posts up there was a post up on Reddit, Matt Schotter's leaving, and, he went straight over and introduced himself over there. And, from what I've seen on the social spaces and things like that, everybody's been pretty damn welcoming. I sent Matt Schotcher a private message just to say, sad to hear you're going and best of luck for the future. Because, like Luke said, the guy has took a lot of shit over the last year, even to the point where situational awareness has been turned into a freaking joke, which is unfair. Yeah, the guy has a point. Even if you disagree, there's no need to. It's just a game at the end of the day. We're all sat here, we're just friends talking about a game. There's no need to go on an attack. And I wish them the best of luck for the future. I know that's from all of us. So good luck, Matt.
Absolutely.
Welcome, Anthony. And I hope you're prepared, because the community can
Get
be
ready for some
as
shit.
we've said, brutal.
From all the chunts.
IFM was going to be on break this week. What was the IFM? All right, okay. So we'll keep this one very short. I don't know if I'll put a video up for this one this week, but my idea for Massive is we are a year and a half approximately into the Division's life cycle. We have a dwindling player base. Do we think it's about time? The Season Pass DLC is free for all when you purchase the base game.
Yeah. This will really help Luke out. No, it's on
Help me
PC.
out. Oh, right, okay, yeah. I don't know where I stand on that. Yes, I think it'd be a good idea to increase player numbers. No, because we're in quite a vocal community and everybody who's spent 30 quid on the DLC Season Pass will kick up a shitstorm like they always do.
Yeah.
So it's a bit catch-22, isn't it? You're going to please some people and you're going to really piss off some others. So,
Well, I think I used it as an example earlier. Doom, for anyone that hasn't played it, is basically you can buy the game now. I'm not sure if on PlayStation 4 it's the same or on Xbox, but if you pick up Doom on PC, all the DLCs are free. I'm guessing that's across consoles as well. How long's that game been out? 6 months? A year, maybe? I don't think it's been out a great deal of time.
I think this is a different type of game, isn't it? But I get.
No, I
get what you're
completely.
saying.
I was going to say, I completely get where you're coming from. And I understand the reasons to keep. The thing is, it is like a catch-22. I can understand why it isn't free to play. Not free to play, but it isn't just, standalone, or they don't have like, how many times have, you've got like a premium version of Battlefield that includes the DLC with it, or something like that. Game of the Year edition. I'm surprised we haven't got something like that.
Gold edition.
Yeah, I know, but it's still expensive. But if you could pick up everything for like £15, that would be better than, Luke, you're on PC at the minute. Okay, so if you were to buy the Division, how much would the Division cost you at the minute?
what, 20 quid maybe?
Okay,
Just the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then you've got the DLC on top potentially.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
So,
Which is,
yeah.
I know that's been on sale for a while, hasn't it? Another 20 quid, so that's 40 quid. So it's still relatively
Pretty much
cheap
the
compared
same.
to the 60, 70 quid we all paid on release for game and DLC. But
Yeah.
But
Sorry, man. Go on.
I just think it'd be a good idea. I willingly paid full price for the game. I willingly paid full price for the DLC, and I cannot complain about the value for money I've got out of the amount of hours I've poured into the whole game, and inclusive of the DLC, all three of them. Even though I still haven't hit level 40 in the Underground, I've still probably got my money's worth out of it. When you think it was, what, if you break it down, it's like 8 quid per DLC or something, isn't it? So,
All right, okay, so let's break it down. Underground. How much did we all pay? What was it, £35 for the Season Pass? It wasn't very expensive, if I remember right. It wasn't £40 off the top of my head.
$32.99.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap. How much do you pay for like Call of Duty maps? You know, like 12 maps or something stupid, just playing pretty much the same content. I give them respect. Every single DLC drop they've done, and even with the 1.7 that's coming in a minute, they've tried to be different each time. I know a lot of people are shouting for story. That is either coming in a future patch or in another game. I gotta be honest about that.
All right.
You ain't getting any story, I don't think.
Let's just do like a quick check. How much was the game when we first bought it? About 40 quid, yeah?
Yeah.
Plus the Season Pass, which was 33 quid, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
let's call that 75 quid, yeah.
How many hours have you spent on the game, Luke?
Nearly 1,600.
Divide that by 1,600. That is 4p an hour. No.
Oh, okay. So,
0.0. No, yeah, 4p an hour.
I'm happily paying 4p an hour.
okay, here's another thing. What would you say to anybody that doesn't feel like they've got value for their money? Because there are the audience out there that do feel the season pass, they're not very happy with it, which I don't agree with. I agree a little bit with regards to Last Stand. I was expecting more maps. That is pretty much the only DLC I feel was a little bit shorthand. Survival was worth the season pass. It's not worth £32 on its own, understandably, but would you have paid £15 literally just for that DLC?
Yes. I would pay £15 for that DLC now. Just for the amount of time that we have previously watched streamers doing it and stuff. It still looks like a really fun game mode. And up until obviously the last week when I bought a laptop and PUBG and whatever else, I was still playing survival. We did a 4-man PvP, not the weekend just gone, but the weekend before. I got my new high score on survival doing that. So, you know, I'm still playing it. I think the only DLC I've not played for a long time is Underground. So,
yeah, it'd be nice, and I'm hoping I've got a funny feeling. I'm hoping 1.8 is gonna bring all the DLCs back into the fold. Back on survival. But I literally bought survival on PC the other week because I was like, I want to play it.
How much was it?
I've been playing Division on. I think it was like £8 or something like that. Which I think I managed to find it cheaper elsewhere. I mean, obviously Ubisoft stores are a bit expensive, but you know, there are places out there you can get the DLC cheaper. But at the end of the day, I think 1.5 years into a life cycle, we have premium vendors and we have microtransactions funding this game now. I don't know if the season pass funds it. Obviously, they get sales off the game every time the game goes on sale, or they do a free weekend for people to jump in.
Just going back to your original question, when you say, are people entitled to complain about how much they've enjoyed the game and stuff? Yes, of course they are. People have paid money for something.
Yeah,
if they're not happy with it, they're entitled to complain. However, don't personally attack people for something that you didn't like. I personally haven't put anywhere near the amount of hours into Battlefield 1 to make me realise that I've spent 45 quid of money well. I'm not moaning at people that designed the game for that. I just don't like it as much as The Division, and therefore I'm keeping playing The Division.
Another game you bought recently, which you spent £40 on, which, you know, I feel bad.
Mass Effect Andromeda, I played a fuck ton less than I played Battlefield 1. And it's sat in my DVD cupboard at the moment, and it's not gone anywhere near my PlayStation for months.
But at the end of the day, buying Battlefield 1, buying Mass Effect Andromeda is your choice at the end of the day. And if you pick up a season pass, it's at the end of the day, that content was for year one. That was it. But
the fact that I don't like Battlefield 1 as much as I like The Division is not Battlefield 1's fault. Technically speaking, it's The Division's fault. Because it's a far superior game, in my opinion. So,
but to be fair, we were playing Battlefield 1, and then a week later, 1.5 dropped, if I remember right, and then
1.4,
we never went back. Maybe, yeah, it might have been. Yeah,
but Battlefield 1 came out shortly before Christmas, didn't it?
But at the end of the day, we're in year 2.
Yeah.
We're getting free content updates. Yeah. Season pass should be free.
Free content.
Yeah, free content updates. Not even for people that bought the season pass. Everybody gets 1.7. Everybody gets 1.8.
All right, Oprah.
Like I said before, people would be entitled to feel a little bit hard done to if they made shit free. But this wouldn't be the first game that had ever done it, would it? By any stretch of the imagination. And what I did want to ask you and Rob was, did Destiny make all their DLCs free at any point during its original life cycle? Or did it make them super, super mega cheap?
They brought out like a collector's edition, which basically culminated all of it. And yeah, you basically had it all for a cheaper price.
Yeah, I know somebody that is thinking about trading in Mass Effect Andromeda for that.
He's so not.
No, you don't.
No, he's so not.
Anyway, I think it's a really good idea.
I do.
I put it out on a tweet last week, just after the show went out, and it's not just myself, and I think a few other people on. I think I might have seen something on Reddit where someone was like, "It's about time." I think it is about time.
Yeah, bandage it all together. Maybe jack up the initial price a little bit. So let's call it 25 quid for the Ultimate Edition or whatever you want to call it, which is the game and the DLC all rolled into one brand new shiny box. Go for it. Do it.
Amen. And that's this week's idea for Massive. And I think that's going to be the end of the show for this week. Robert,
Yes.
where can listeners find us, dude?
You can find us at SITREP Radio on Twitter and Facebook. Tweet us with the hashtag Team SITREP, as we're all affiliated with that hashtag. If you have any questions or feedback for the show, send us them to sitrepradiopod@gmail.com.
You can find the SITREP Radio podcasts on any of the following platforms: iTunes and Apple Podcasts on iOS devices, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, Overcast, Stitcher, Player.fm, Pocket Casts, RSS feeds, and please rate, view, and subscribe while you're there. Thank you.
Make sure to check out Mash Those Buttons over on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Go check out some of the other podcasts that are part of the Mash Those Buttons family. If you're a fan of Doom Fist, I think the release update for consoles went out this week, so I'm sure Jarrett and the guys over at Watchpoint Radio will be talking about that. And obviously there's a load of Destiny news, so definitely go check out In Orbit and all the other podcasts on the Mash Those Buttons network.
And don't forget, you can always check us out on YouTube with the show and the IFMs. Please leave a comment and subscribe. That'll be awesome. Also, I just want to mention we had some figures this week from our editor. We have our downloads have increased 1,076% since this time last year, which is like insane.
One person was listening to us last year.
And we now have 1,076. But that's just like, that's insane. Thank you for all our loyal listeners. And we keep bringing you lovely content.
We will keep droning on about other games.
Listening to Rob get drunk and giving massive ideas that they're not going to listen to anymore.
And getting Rob drunk and getting him to explain how the hell Striker works.
Yes. Best episode
Let's
ever.
try not to laugh. That was a good episode. For us recording it, I think. I don't know if it was very good to listen to.
Never go back to.
But yeah, thank you very much for everybody that listens and supports us. It's, to be this far along, it's pretty awesome. Anyway, thank you to Sean Winder over on the Division Elites Facebook group. He posts some awesome content. Go check him out. Thanks for listening, agents, and we will catch you in the Division. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.